It's time for some math! Today we're going to be looking at divisibility patterns. You'll learn to use divisibility rules for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. You won't be learning 7. 7's a little confusing. If you want to do your personal investigation on that, feel free to. First multiple we'll look at is 2, and we'll use this as an example. Here's the first 11 digits of the multiple of 2. And you'll notice for each of the multiples in the ones column, they either end in a 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. That's because a number is divisible by 2 if the ones digit is divisible by 2. So essentially, if it's an even number, it's going to be divisible by 2. So this would be our divisibility rule for 2. Now what I'd like you to do is pause the video and find the divisibility rules for 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. Some will be easier than others, and some you may find to be rather difficult. If you get stumped, go ahead and play the video and I'll show you what those rules are. Of course, 5 should be an easy one. Number is divisible by 5 if the ones digit is a 0 or 5. Same is true for 10. Number is divisible by 10 if the ones digit is 0. Number is divisible by 3 if the sum of the digits is divisible by 3. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, if I have the number 27 and I add 2 plus 7, it's going to equal 9. 9 is divisible by 3. 102, if I add up those digits, it's going to equal 3. And 3 divided by 3 is 1, so 102 is divisible by 3. The same holds true for numbers rather large. 12,111, the sum of those digits is 6, so I know that number is divisible by 3. Number is divisible by 6 if the number is divisible by 2 and 3. So this first one, 27, I know it's not divisible by 6 because 1, it's not divisible by 2 because it's not an even number. And 2, it's not divisible by 6 because 2 plus 7 is 9, and 9 is not divisible by 6. However, if I look at this next example, I do have a number that is divisible by 3 in the fact, whoops, let's make that a 6. 1 plus 0 plus 5 equals 6. But it's not going to be divisible by 6 because it's not an even number. However, this last number, 52,152, it's an even number and the sum of the digits is divisible by 6. So this number is divisible by 6. Number is divisible by 9 if the sum of the digits is divisible by 9. Same pattern, same method you'd use for 3 and 6 you'd use for 9. Here 27, we know it's divisible by 9 because 2 plus 7 equals 9. 729, we can add those numbers down to just a single digit, which is 9. So 729 would be divisible by 9. 12,141, all those digits added together equal 9, so again, that number is going to be divisible by 9. So look at the rule for divisibility of 4. If the last 2 digits is divisible by 4, then the number will be divisible by 4. So 32 would be divisible by 4. Obviously, 8 times 4 is 32. And because I know 32 is divisible by 4, 132 is going to be divisible by 4 because I'm looking at the last 2 digits. Same is true with 52,152. I know 52 is divisible by 4, So that entire number is going to be divisible by 4. For 8, it's the last 3 digits. Not a very easy divisibility rule to use. If it's a 2-digit number, you just have to divide it. 32 divided by 8 is 4, so obviously divisible by 4. 132, not divisible by 8. 52,152. If 152 is divisible by 8, then that entire number is going to be divisible by 8. So let's look at a few examples. How many ways could a dance company with 138 members be arranged in rows that form a rectangle? Go ahead and pause the video, and when you have a few answers, restart it. Okay, there's a couple different ways to form a rectangle. You could have 1 by 138, 2 by 69, 6 by 23, and because we have a divisibility rule of 6 there, that 3 is going to pop up too. So those are 4 different ways you can form a rectangle with 138 members. Determine whether 456 is divisible by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. Go ahead and pause the video and take a few minutes to work on that. And the final example, find 2 possible dimensions of a rectangle with an area of 7,938 square centimeters. Again, you're using the divisibility rule to find these solutions. Answers may vary.